All these leaves will dry right down to the ground. So you know the ginger is ready. I'm going to uproot this one to let you guys see the beer and what it looks like.
In Jamaica, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, together with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and local farmers, are showing us exactly how to transform the national agricultural sector and boost production as a part of post-COVID-19 recovery efforts. The crop of choice to start this transformation process was ginger.
Marketing is a challenge when you don't know, all right, if I reap my ginger, I know exactly where to take it. That might affect farmers expanding on their own, but market is one of the major challenge. If we can find a market, then that would be good.
So many times we have planted and we can't even identify what disease or what type of fungicide to use.
In the early 90s, we had an issue with Rhizome Rot, which is a disease that affects the rhizome of the ginger, and that wiped out the ginger by mid-1990s.
There's no cure for the ginger rhizome rot, so it's a challenge for farmers.
At this point in time, I think we're at our lowest level in terms of production.
This is what the rhizome looks like.
Why should we send out the raw, bulk, low-grade, low-value item for somewhere else to appreciate it and then we repurchase from them?
Jamaican ginger is world-renowned for its superior pungency and potency. The country has been producing high-quality ginger for decades, and over this time became prominent on global markets, also finding favor as a crop with significant value-added potential.
We started exporting ginger sometime in the 40s. At that time, we used to be a very large exporter of ginger.
Outbreaks of the ginger rhizome rot disease, GRR, have devastated farmer yields and spread across the island, leading to declines in annual ginger production, leaving huge gaps on the local and international shelves, as well as creating great losses in revenue.
Whenever you have a spike in the rhizome rot, farmers encounter significant loss.
Farmers have lost up to 100% of their crop.
If the farmers are not earning enough to satisfy their needs, allowing them to now support the crops that they are growing, it's just not going to make sense for them.
The Jamaican ginger, being the best in the world, really need to know takes its rightful place.
FAO and the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, formerly MECAF, have been working in response to this crisis, not only to help the industry recover, but to transform it. At the center of this effort, a full value chain approach, a keen eye pointed at every facet of production, from seed to plant to plate.
There are processors here with the facility to move from fresh produced ginger up the value chain. The problem has always been the availability of the raw material. So once we can address the issue of producing good quality fresh ginger, we have the facility to now capitalize on producing the finished products.
We do verily believe that the Jamaican ginger is of tremendous potential for the country. It does carry a lot of opportunities in terms of the value-added potential.
Ginger is seen as one of those nutraceutical crops. There's no doubt that the demand for ginger is going to continue to rise. So I believe that if we can find clean planting material, now is the time that you'll be able to get larger farmers to come in. So it's the right time now.
Integral to this approach was building a new business model for the ginger industry using certified clean ginger planting material derived from a tissue culture to mitigate disease.
The certification program serves as a main tool to clean up and remove the rot. Currently, under the ginger program, we have a team of persons from labs, including the Scientific Research Council, the Northern Caribbean University, and here at Bodles are collaborating in producing ginger plantlets, we are multiplying the numbers so that they're enough to go out into a pilot program, and then we'll expand and upscale the program.
Benefit for certification is very important. To have a wide pool of clean planting material, then it eliminates or control the spread.
Each facet supports a business model built around collaboration, an initiative to grow the sector to ensure it is stable over time and, crucially, profitable for all.
It is quite possible that we can move ginger up the value chain. It would require a good level of coordination.
Why should we send out the raw, bulk, low-grade, low-value item for somewhere else to appreciate it and then we repurchase from them? How do we get as much of it as possible to happen in Jamaica? Because whether we like it or not, it's going to happen. Extracts will be made, products will be made. We may end up importing many of these as body care products, as hair care products, and we glory in the brand names that come back to us when we could be deriving the value from what is initially ours.
By taking a market-oriented approach to developing the sector, this initiative has inspired the interest of local farmers and processors to invest in the industry.
In order to be able to bring all the different actors, all the information, all the evidence together, we need such structure approach and work step by step with each of the actors. Value chain development needs strong technical expertise and facilitation to support actors in each of the steps.
FAO has been providing technical support to government of Jamaica in revitalizing the ginger industry since 2016. Over the years, we have carried out numerous training programs in ginger production and value chain development with the aim of ensuring that we are helping to rebuild an industry that can respond to any challenges ahead.
JACRA, the FAO, and the R&D of the ministry have been working over the last year or so collectively to build the industrial model, identify the gaps that exist. These works over the year has brought us to the point of now seeing success in the industry being re-established. This is exciting for us because it has laid the platform for not only ginger, but what is possible with the industries we regulate.
The main reason for doing this public-private partnership, it is to ensure the sustainability of the program. The ministry is willing and able to provide the tissue culture planting material, but for it to be commercially viable and sustainable, we need the cooperation of the private sector to help to fund the long-term establishment of these greenhouses to be able to upscale production enough to provide for the markets, whether local and international. We anticipate we're a private sector partner cooperating with us to be encouraging farmers to work in partnership under contracts. So the farmers will be able to have secure funding each year and also secure supply for the processor.
I think I have already market, because last year I have a good market. I sell about near 2,500 pounds last year, and I actually sell one person that do the ginger in powder and do some farmer export or something like that.
Most of the farmers that we work with are contracted farmers. So we negotiate the terms in terms of the quantities and the price with them before the crop goes into the ground. The farmers actually need that because most of them cannot find the ready financing. You know, there are several benefits from being a contract farmer. One, it allows you to access financing once you have your collateral. It's easier to go to the bank with a contract to show them exactly where you're actually going to be selling your produce. The contractor knows exactly at what price he's going to get. So he can actually go to his market and negotiate along that line, knowing that his raw material will come in at a particular price point.
The private sector is so important in the work that we're promoting because without the private sector, we will not be able to achieve the transformations that we aspire. Those transformations have to do, with new technologies, with innovation, with needed investment. So the private sector is critical to bring in those elements. And in addition, the experience of the private sector in developing, in product development, in market development is critical if you want to see agriculture as a business.
For FAO, this initiative illustrates the power of the market-driven value chain approach, which applies a clear strategic action plan and a strong collaboration between partners.
Brand Jamaica is a powerful brand when it comes on to quality, when it comes on to certain products which is best in its class worldwide.
Our competitors globally, they're always finding ways of improving their production and making the best of the conditions that they're producing in. In order for Jamaica's ginger to be competitive, right, not just locally, but also internationally, we need to have research, continuous research on ways of improving our yields, improving our productivity, and I think starting at research around the clean planting material is the way to go.
The value chain approach helps to connect all the major players in the production.
We cannot achieve sustainable value chain development working piecemeal. Collaboration is at the heart of every effort that we're doing and that we should be doing in the future.
The role played by the regulators, the lab technicians, the business players, each one have a unique role to provide and the unique techniques that they have. With a missing link, it creates a dysfunction in the entire value chain and it will not work.
The approach has worked very well in Jamaica in the case of ginger because we have managed to put together evidence, information that are necessary to articulate a business model that has convinced and attracted, different actors in the value chain, including from the public sector, including from the private sector.
Jack, I believe that this is the way to develop the industry over the long term to ensure that there is linkage between producers and processor.
So it is rather than just a farm-based, rudimentary thing. We cannot be looking at people who go through colleges, people who go through chemical degrees, people who go through chemical engineering, being involved in the process of conversion to the higher value. Then we look at people doing their food production and various applications who can take that intermediary thing and convert it to something else. So what we then have leaving Jamaica, rather than containers of just raw ginger, would be now containers of branded products, finished goods, which now improve the reputation of the country and improve the inflows and the GDP of the country.
I am very optimistic about developing value chains in Jamaica based on the experience that we have had with ginger. The model that we are building and solidifying and improving as we go in Jamaica can be an excellent reference for other Caribbean countries.
We are a tourist nation, which means that persons are coming in, so you want to introduce them to these goods as they come in. And then that could open the market for exports. So in terms of a future for Jamaican agriculture, it looks bright.
Over the next 5 years, we anticipate to improve yields, increase acreage, reduce farmer risk, increase local ginger processing, and attract US dollar investment into the sector.
I'm excited for what lays ahead. I'm really very optimistic. I know that all our hard work is going to come to fruition.
I think when they go on planting in other crop right now, you plant ginger.